to get up in the top. So 672, that should be what, third place?
Yeah, that puts him in third. By the way, he finished third and not second at the Carifta Trials under 17. It was Green of St. Jago who finished second.
Good, I feel a little better now. I did believe that Hakeem Freeman had taken a jump. He was the first in the series. So this is actually his second attempt from Manchester High School. Has not gotten over 6 meters yet, so I think he's going to have to go for it now. This is his second of 3 guaranteed attempts.
Event progressing. Here is Freeman of Manchester High. Has given that everything. It's below 6 meters. He's disappointed with the effort.
Yeah, not touching the board again, Ricardo. That's a real challenge. Having gotten your safe jump in, you really need to get as close to that board as possible. Viewers, listeners, you have to trust us on this one. But viewers, look with us. He's going to take off from that right leg, right foot. And when he gets there, he just, oh no, it's a left foot. But, I mean, that's what, 30 centimeters given away. And so when he gets 570, even if he hit the board, it would have been 6 meters. He certainly needs to go for it. His first jump was 575, positive 0.7 wind. The wind is just about right. Ricardo made a great point. If you go out there and there's some 3.4 point winds, it's too much. It's going to have you fouling or adjusting too much. So as we look at Shamar Shaw here, Ready knows. Yep,
yeah,
Shamar.
He had 655 in his opening round and not 597.
Correct. He was a leader. He was the first to get way up there. So he knows what the wind reading is now. In fact, a lot of the professionals, when they're doing the long triple or even the pole vault, watch the wind. Let's see how Shamar does.
Yeah, he's in 4th position at this stage. Stretches for the board and lost that one completely. Critical for Calabar. Good high jumper as well. Won both events in Class 3 last year. Very confident young man. Gets the wide flag, but it won't be a great effort.
No. The technique required includes shortening your last 2 steps just before you get to the board. And in his case, he was trying to get to the board. So instead of shortening, he stretched and still did not reach the board. And then he kind of bailed out of it at that point. And hopefully did not hurt himself. 552, way below par. That's a meter shy of what he did in the first round. So Shavoy Stewart steps up now.
Yeah, Shavoy Stewart of St. Elizabeth Technical. He did the 597 in the first round. Here's Stewart of Stets trying to get over 6 meters for the first time in this competition. Again, taking off behind the board. And I'm not sure if it's going to be an improvement, and if it is much of an improvement on the 597 he had in round 1.
No. Again, this is where, having gotten a safe jump in, you need to go for it. You need to be hitting the board. You need to be getting closer. These fellas are still well behind that 20 centimeter wide takeoff board.
Second attempt for the St. Elizabeth Technical athlete. 6.21 meters. So it is a significant improvement on his 597. I think I'm just going to stop guessing these distances because I'm a little bit off this afternoon. Maybe it's my positioning. Omari Gordon now of Wolmer's.
He fouled on his first attempt. Is that what the graphic showed? So
here he is. Second round effort. 6:44 in qualifying. What does he deliver? Oh, no. He runs through. And that will be a second fall for Omari Gordon of Wolmer's. And that means he's in real trouble in this competition as we have a look at his coach in the background looking a little disturbed.
Yeah, Orville Brown from Wolmer's walking down to speak to him to say, okay, you need to take off and jump. You know, what that running through at champs in the champs final, you've already proven the capacity to get to the final by getting to the preliminaries. Very unusual to see.
Nick Troy Green now of Jamaica College with his second round effort. Shows speed down the runway. Oh, that's close. That's really close. What color flag does he get? Looks as if it's going to be white. 6:43 in round 1. Is this an improvement for the Jamaica College athlete?
I suspect it will be. He now, even though he has a 6:43 and would probably qualify for the top 8, he still goes for it and hits the board particularly well. Look with me now, that kind of second to last step where he pulled back, hits the board just about as good as you can. He should have extended a little more into the pit. His legs hit the And is that Wilbert Walker?
Yeah, Wilbert Walker is the jumps coach now at Jamaica College. 576. Royal James, who is their long-time outstanding coach, no longer with the program full-time, does though work with the Class 1 athletes, including Michael Andre Edwards, Javar Cato as well. Here is Forner.
St. Jago.
Second season he's in this Class 2 final. Can he do better than he did last year? He finished 6th. Had a great start in this competition. Did Forner 6:49, something to build on. Let's see what he's done in the second round.
Again, the angles are a little funny for us, but it looks like he has done better this time. Again, striding, doesn't seem to be one of the speedy jumpers. Seems to have more of a bit of a bounce. Lands again, planting behind the board. Gets good height though, and 6.63 meters. Again, improving on his performance. But he knows he can do 683.
Here is Leonardo Green, second at the Carifta Trials, under 17, first-year Class 2 athlete. So has done well to join his schoolmate in this final. 6:31 in the opening round. Didn't score in Class 3 last year. Can he find a way to get in the top 8 here? Oh, that showed real speed on the runway. That doesn't look like a bad effort, and the flag is white. That's a good look for Green.
What do we need? Close to what? 650 probably to be in the top 8? You know, if we're at 650, let's see where he lands. Again, decent speed. Just barely getting onto the board. Gets up, which is what you want to do, and extend. 642.
So not an improvement. Well, yes, an improvement for him with that 642. Here's the leader now. Odane Noble of Kingston College.
In general, we've been seeing improvements on the second jump. If Noble improves, he's way, way out there. The only athlete over 7 meters currently. The leader.
7.09 in the opening round, of forcing down the runway with tremendous confidence.
He's going to get a white flag. Negative 0.8. That's an interesting turn for the wind. He gets the white flag. Again, he looked like he hit the board almost as great as one could hope. He takes off. Long strides at first, and then they shorten as he gets to start building his speed, looking to get the board. Wow, Ricardo, there's nothing. 678, but that's really strange that is 678 and earlier was 709. That certainly looked from our angle to be much, much better. That's amazing. That's very unusual.
Good follow-up for him here is Talon Edwards of Calabar in that second position with his 675 opening round, chasing 709. Big and powerful, strong, powers down the runway, hits the board well. Another pretty decent effort, but I don't think it challenges the lead.
We need to check our angles. I'm seeing what looks like close to 7 meter jumps. Approaches the board, gets there, hits the board. Again, that's about as right as you want to be on that board. Extends. See, viewers, if you're seeing what we're seeing the same thing that you're seeing. It looked like he's threatening 7 meters, but what comes up on the actual scoreboard for his distance is 643. That does not look like a 643 to me, Ricardo. Again, we're at a funny angle.
Yeah, 643 for Talon Edwards in the second round. Here's Kevin Mitchell now. 606 in the opening round. Needs a lot better if he is to get into the final.
Gathers himself. But as it stands right now, Kingston College leads. Calabar in second. And here comes
Kevin Mitchell of Excelsior.
Okay, now that looks close to 6 meters. Again, we're at an odd angle, but and the wind is either was that 1.4. Let's see if we see it again. So Mitchell from Excelsior not super speedy, but aims to hit the board well. Does not hit the board. Again, that white board, 20 centimeters. And to me, that looks like low 6 meters, 575. Perhaps the board is just oddly positioned then, because...
Quite possibly. David Riley having a word with his charge.
Like, what was that?
Here we go now with Andrew Reid of Cornwall College, the Western Champs bronze medalist. Not over 6 meters yet, but that might do it.
Got the white flag, which is always step one. We look at the replay. Steps, long steps, gets them shorter, tries to build the speed, and hits and goes up. So he hits the board well. And it's just over 6 meters there.
Yeah, so an improvement for him, 6.03 meters. You're watching the final of the long jump for Class 2 boys. Zihu Witter now of Cornwall College on the runway. He is in the bronze medal position with his 6.72 from the opening round. Very sprightly down the runway. Oh, that's close. That's
red.
Close.
Red.
Yes, it is red. It is red. But it looks like he has a pretty big jump in him today. And he finishes the second round in third position.
So we've now completed. Each of the athletes, the 12 athletes, have each taken 2 jumps. Just marginally over there for that foul. And what it means is at the end of the next round, the next 12 jumps, we're going to look at the athletes who have the 8 best jumps and give the top 8 athletes 3 more attempts.
This is Freeman. Last chance for him to try and book his place in the final 8. Steadies himself, looked a little bit frustrated following his second round effort. Has done well to get to the final 12. Can he go better? Struggling down the runway there. You could see it all the way through, but the flag is going to be white. Wow. And that looks like a pretty good effort for him.